Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the show. This is Jenga Njeru. Now, today we have the Matchmaker show, and you understand the protocol here. Any other time, we have a man on board. The man is looking for a woman. Every other time, we have a woman. The woman is looking for a man. Today, we are having a man. I'll be telling you the kind of woman he is looking for. But before then, if you're watching us for the first time, this is the Matchmaker show. We help men and women to get matches. And the moment they get the right ones, they meet their destinies. So you're not lost if you're new to the show. Subscribe, like the video, and don't forget to leave a comment. Also, the contacts of our guest will be on my Facebook page at Jenganjeru. So you can follow Jenganjeru on Facebook and you'll be getting these updates in real time. Our guest on today's show is Simeon, and Simeon is a 57-year-old man who is single and searching. He comes from Kenya, but he is currently working and living in the United States. He's actually in Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix, Arizona. So, at the age of 57, you could be asking yourself, why is Simeon, not Simon, Simeon? You know the spelling of Simeon. Most people call him Simon, but the actual name is Simeon. 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 That is his name, and his second name is Ondieki. Ondieki. He comes from Migori County, not Migori, Nyamira County. Yeah, it's written here, Nyamira County. He's a Kisi, born and raised in Nyamira County, and he is a man who is single and searching. You'd want to know why is he single, the kind of woman he is looking for, so that these details will be able to help you make a decision on whether or not you are going to contact him or not. At the age of 57, he is a separated man, and the best word here is divorced, because the first thing was a separation and then a divorce. I don't know why. I have repeated a million times why most people who come from Kenya to the US or to any other country together as a couple find it difficult to cohabit. You see, in the contemporary African world, the man is the head, the alpha and the omega, the beginning and the end. He calls the shots. When you go to the US, that is actually not the case. And I have met people who are telling me, because they are struggling to maybe make ends meet, the both of them have to put in the same number of hours. The both of them have to work in just the same way. So your wife is working and the husband is also working. That means you guys have to share other responsibilities like cleaning and cooking, which is actually very understandable. Okay, if you don't want that, you can remain in Africa, because there is no way you will be working the same number of hours with somebody and you want that person to do every other chore. Because I hear that also hiring people like nannies is a very big deal. It's not very easy, you know. So at least you can help. You can help with cleaning, the other person can help with cooking, the other person can look at after the children, you know. And sometimes most men feel like their egos are getting bruised, because again, you don't want your wife to be a slave. Who wants their wife to be a slave? Nobody wants to be a slave of the other. Sometimes these responsibilities and gender roles work in Africa because sometimes the wife is having lighter duties. The wife is maybe even a housewife, or they are working at home. Okay, so if they are working at home, and this is something that has also gained a lot of momentum even after the COVID-19 pandemic. I had a lot of women who are working as at home as housewives, but they still have something they are doing. Okay, there are people who even closed up their businesses in town and in every other major town. They closed up their businesses during COVID. They started selling online and they realized, wait a minute, I don't have to sell through a shop. I can sell online. And when they sell online, that means they have reduced the journey to work and from and to work, okay, to and fro, and then they're not paying the shop rent. They don't have to be there physically, because if you're selling, for instance, let's assume you're selling clothes. If you have a shop, you have to be there. You have to be there to increase the chances so that the client will not come there and you are not there. But when you are selling online, maybe the only mode of contact is through phone calls and WhatsApp. The client will look at what you're doing online, they contact you, you deliver, you go back home, you wait, and that cannot prevent you from doing other household chores. Are we together? But if these two people are going to town every day in the morning, or wherever they go to work, they come back, they will need a nanny. Mtu mmoja atachoka sana kama unangoja yeye akuje apike, mmetokea the same hours, mnafika nyumba saa mbili, kwa nyumba saa mbili unataka yeye apike, pia unataka akupikie, eh, akimaliza kukula pia unataka sijui akufulie nguo. There are so many responsibilities. You want that person to help the children with homework. You want that person to help so many things. Let us go back to Mr. Simeon. Bwana Ondieki is 57, and some of these things are what made him get divorced with a wife. And at one point, she called police on her. So he couldn't believe it. And just like that, they recently filed a divorce. They filed it, and they are no longer together. So at the age of 57, what kind of a woman is he looking for? Number one, he wants a woman who is from the ages of 45 and above, all the way to 55, so long as that woman is not willing to get more babies. He tells me that raising babies in the US is very expensive. It is not even a matter of which state you are living in. Raising a baby in the US is very demanding and very expensive, and that is not a line he is willing to travel because he already is a father of three. His children are grown adults, so he would prefer somebody who is having children who are also grown. So if you're there and maybe you have children that are also grown, children that are also young adults, children that do not require his direct assistance on a daily basis in terms of money. Sometimes people want to invest back at home, and that is exactly what he is doing. So when you look at him, he doesn't want to have children. He doesn't want to add more children. And he doesn't want to add more children. That means he's not looking forward to assisting them financially with things like school fees, because even when you have children, you will still need to do other things. It is not that your money is stagnant. So if there is a woman out there who is there and the woman is actually feeling like she can be able to accommodate a man who is 57 in the US, Phoenix, Arizona, and this is a disclaimer, that person must be in the US. So if you're in Kenya, ladies and gentlemen, if you're in any other country, unless you're in Europe, okay, because they can arrange. And even if you're in Canada, it's even easier because Canada is just on the border, okay? It's at the border of the US. So it will not be a problem, okay? In fact, there are states in the US where you take more time to travel than just crossing over the border of Canada. Are we getting the point? So Canada, US, one and the same thing. So if you're in Canada, that will not be a problem. If you're in Europe, he can also consider. He is not willing to take somebody from Africa and ship him to the US. So if maybe you're watching this video and you'd be interested in getting a man who is in the US, Mr. Simeon Ondieki will not be an ideal match. He says that the kind of betrayal he met with the wife, the kind of betrayal he met with the wife was something else, and he is not willing to travel that path. Imagine you take somebody here from Kenya to the US and they humble themselves 1, 2 years. The third year, they are calling the police on you. This is not something that you would want even to think along. Now, this is his profile. He has asked me to share his contact so that as many as of those who are interested can be able to get in touch. But the person has to be in the US. It doesn't matter the state. There are things you don't want to think along those lines because let's assume you are once beaten, you will be twice shy. Even people who have been divorced today, there are certain tendencies that were very, very prevalent on their exes, very common. And if they see those tendencies in another man, they will not be able to accommodate because it will be reminding them of the past. It will be reminding them of what they went through in the hands of that man. I'm wishing Mr. Simeon Ondieki the best of luck. That is not a problem to him if the woman is having children because he's also a father, and preferably a person who is a Christian. I'm wishing him well. I hope he gets a good match. And another thing, if this woman is not from the gamer community, then if this woman is either Aluo or Aluya or Akisi, that woman will be given the first priority. I'm wishing him well. I hope he gets a good match after this. I'll be posting his number on my Facebook page at Jenganjero. You can follow Jenganjero. I actually post these contacts on the stories section. You see that blue circle you see on that Facebook page. Those are the stories that run in 24 hours, they expire. That's why I keep on encouraging people. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Enable the notifications bell. Any other time I release a new video, YouTube automatically notifies you. The moment you're notified, you're able to rush to Facebook, pick the contacts, and you'll be able to talk to the guest at your own convenient time. Even if the number expires, you still have their contacts and you can be able to interact. Until then, this is Jenganjero. I'll see you in the next video, ladies and gentlemen. Bye bye.